Is the relationship between monitoring and evaluation? I am your host, Coach Alexander, and welcome to M&E Made Simple, which is a YouTube channel explicitly designed to cater for all your monitoring and evaluation needs. Today we'll be considering a topic which isn't new but does get asked a lot, even by the well experienced M&E personnel. We are talking about the differences and relationship between monitoring and evaluation. Now, there's one thing you need to understand. Monitoring and evaluation are two different entities. In fact, when you look at even just the definition of monitoring and evaluation, they are two different. Although some people tend to use them interchangeably, you actually discover in practice they serve different functions and needs. But to start with, I want to proceed with this presentation in a very systematic way. And if you've been looking at my past videos on this channel, you discover that I like using Google a lot because Google has a lot of literature on so many stuff. If you just type monitoring and evaluation, or you just type indicators, or you just type pizza or cake, things that come into your mind, you'll find a lot of things of Google, which I think you know by now. But in the M&D field, there's so much literature. So let's get down to business. Now, I was privileged to search on the internet and I found this image which clearly defines monitoring and evaluation and tells us exactly what these mean. So in terms of monitoring, there it gives us the objective and the methodology. In terms of evaluation, it gives us also the objective and the methodology. So let's start with monitoring. The objective of monitoring is to track changes from baseline conditions to desired outcomes. Okay, then evaluation sets to validate what results were achieved and how and why they were or were not achieved. So now, have you already noticed the relationship between monitoring and evaluation based on this objective alone? You see, folks, in every program or project, there are activities that are implemented day by day, month by month, until the year ends. And then you got another year until the program ends. Now, monitoring would track changes from the baseline condition. So when they say baseline, from the start of the program to the end of the program. So as the monitoring is being done, this could be done either quarterly, semi-annually, depending on how the M&D plan has designed things. In a nutshell, what this is saying is that when these changes are captured, they are going to be reported on. And it is when these reports, monitoring reports, are written, management are supposed to take informed decisions. They're supposed to see from these reports whether there are any intended results being achieved. If the results are not being achieved, then adjustments need to be made in order to get to the targets which the program had been designed, sorry. So as soon as the monitoring function takes place from the start of the program to the end of the program, or even within the program, then there's what we call the evaluation. So the results which are captured from the monitoring feed into the evaluation, because there it says objective of an evaluation is to validate what results were achieved. So the reports that come from the monitoring side will be validated in this evaluation. Okay. And when, because evaluations are done by independent people, this could be consultants. In most cases, these are consultants anyway. So when these consultants do the evaluation, they'll come and get hold of the monitoring reports, read through them, and then go back to the field or wherever this information was being captured. They'll validate it. Now, it is in this validation process and the interpretation of findings that they'll come to understand how and why they were or were not achieved. So, in short, the relationship here is that monitoring feeds into the evaluation. That is one relationship. Now, in terms of methodology, let's see if we can get a relationship in the methodology side. Monitoring in terms of methodology tracks and assesses performance through analysis and comparison of indicators over time. Then the evaluation evaluates achievement or outcomes by comparing indicators before and after the intervention. Involves value judgment, relies on monitoring data and information from external sources. So you can already see it's nowhere far from what we were discussing here, because here it says it relies on monitoring data which comes from the monitoring reports under here. So what this is telling us is that the monitoring is more like the younger brother to the evaluation, or evaluation is the bigger brother, but these two are related because this one feeds into the evaluation, and it is through this feeding process that informed decisions or conclusions can be made as to the success or failure of the program. But really, to tell you the truth, programs don't really fail, because the truth of the matter is that when people come up with a program or project, the intention is to register a success, to get the results that have been outlined in the project document, in the program document. However, if those results are not achieved, it doesn't necessarily mean that there has been a failure, but it only means that it's a learning process of what can be done better. So we see that evaluation caters for that. It even offers recommendations on how best in future better programs can be made in order to achieve the intended targets. So that's all I had for you this day. My name has been Coach Alexander, and see you on the other side.